A new night, a new run, a new situation. Nothing's really new, but we're just doing it again with a new character, so I'm gonna call it new and say it that. Hey there, people of the internet world, it's Kibatu, and welcome back to more Lost Branch of Legend. So, last time we managed to beat the game with Reimu, A, and now we're gonna go do another run, A? Sorry, I don't mean to be descriptive. What's the word? What? I don't even know. I don't know. I'm not gonna say any more than that. Anyway, so last time I said we did one with Reimu A, so I figure we need to go ahead and try it out with someone different. And this time, I think we should go ahead and do something a little more complex, but still simple. This time, let's do a run with Marisa. Marisa has 75 health and 80 mun, but she starts with let's see. I'm gonna start with Marisa B, actually. Marisa B is actually a little more straightforward, but because Marisa A is a little more complex. We'll get to that as we get to that. But she starts with the spell card, which is 25 damage to each enemy. Her exhibit is at a red mana. After a red mana is spent for attack, player gets a charge, and the charge, we'll get over that as we go along. And her deck consists of this. So we're going to have ourselves a fun time with Marisa here. Normal mode still, and yeah, we're going to keep the Fate Unknown just to spice it up a little bit, and yeah, let's see where it goes. Alright, so jumping straight into it. Eddie always introduces herself and helps us out, and let's see here. We swap, lose threatening exhibit and gain a random enchanting exhibit. Recall from 3 random uncommon cards, choose one to add to the library, and Epiphany, add a random card to the library. I like having the option of getting 3 uncommon cards, but I am curious what the rare card is, because rare cards are still pretty dang good in this one. I think I'll go ahead and get a rare random card, because I'm curious on what we can get here. Let's see, what do we get? The Immortal Flame. At the start of Marisa's turn, gain 2 firepower. At the end of combat, if Marisa's life is less than half, gain 4 life. So she has a regen, as well as getting more firepower. This is befitting for a Marisa run. This is actually pretty befitting for Marisa run, so I'm happy with that. I still want to go with max extra life because I believe in not dying. So yeah, we're gonna keep that. Alright, so it is still the same. For some reason it still uses the same silhouette from Marisa, even though we're using Marisa as a character. I'm not sure why that is. But oh well. Let's see. Let's start with the second route here. And go from here. Alright, so Gidamas, they are the basic enemies here in the first act. They do 6 damage and they can inflict a negative effect. But when you attack them, they gain block, depending on how much they have. 4, 5, and 6 block. Yeah, so that's a problem. Okay, so I am going to use Flammable Laser against this one, which will get rid of it right away. I'm going to use block to gain block, and I'm going to use a shoot to attack this one, because it'll still do damage. So yeah, every time we have a card that uses red mana and we use it, we gain charge. We do this until we get 8 charge, and then we enter burst mode. Burst mode is going to be a lot of fun once we get there, but it's going to be a little while before we get there. So no rush, but it'll be pretty fun when we get there. Alright, so we're gonna block, we're gonna hot star impact, and then shoot. And that'll be that turn. Pretty simple. Pretty straightforward. So one small detail that's really neat, and this is a little bit of a little bit of detail, but nothing too important, but it's still a fun thing to notice. So shoot is a card that uses any mana. You can use any mana to use it. But let's say you use a red mana to use it. Watch the bullets that fly from Marisa. They are red. Any mana that is used for shoot becomes that color. So if you use black mana, we use a black bullet. And, you know, you do that. So it's a nice little detail. It gives it a little bit of a touch for the game. I really like it. It just gets a little more detail to it. Alright, so now we can introduce Overdrive. So you gain charge until you have 8 charge. But Marisa has particular cards that give her charge or overdrive. When you have 2 charge, you can do the other effect instead. So it says deal 14 damage, but overdrive, you deal 12 damage 2 times and apply 1 vulnerable. So overdrive means you use up 2 charge. So if we use this one, we lose 2 charge, but we still get to use the attack. So we use it, and then we lose 2 charge. But since we use red mana, we still get a charge back, so we really just use 1 charge. It's a little complex, but it's really pretty interesting. Speed Duel is actually pretty good, especially when we upgrade it. It's kind of annoying to get, especially if you're trying to get it on the first turn or 2. But I'm gonna go ahead and get it, because I really want to show off how strong Burst can really be. Alright, so our first event. We see a large bag of money on the side of the road. Ooh, money! I see nothing wrong with this. Let's grab the money! Yeah, 150 gil, that's pretty good. Oh, well. What do you want? Oh. Oh, you're gonna be like that, aren't you? I never liked you as a trickster, but beggars can't be choosers, I guess. So, Tei, in other words, gives you an option. Either you give her all the money, and instead you get Rabbit's Foot, which is not bad, but it's kind of more trouble than it's worth for some people. You can give her some money, which you only lose 100 mun, so either way you still get 50 mun for free, or just don't give her any money and instead you gain a Misfortune card called Misfortune. At the end of a turn, you lose 1 life for each 100 mun held. So if you have a lot of money on you, you lose life. So, that's kind of rough. We're going up to Yukari, right? Yeah, Yukari cannot remove cards unless we have a way to do it. So, I'm perfectly fine with just giving some mun and just going off my business. So I'm gonna do just 100 mun and say, yeah, good deal. Didn't belong to me anyway. I don't know who it belongs to, but it didn't belong to me, so I don't have any problems giving away somebody. Giving away? Yes. Giving away is what I mean to say. Giving away somebody. Alright, so, let's see. Sunflower Fairy, you were doing 16 damage right off the bat. That is annoying. So let's try and not have that happen. And instead, let's do 15 block, so we'll only take 1 damage, and do Impact to do 10 damage right off. Alright. Seems like a good turn to start with. And then, what is that? 7? 7 damage. No reward to block it. Well, actually, no. Hold on a second. I got an idea. If you use this... Oh, I messed that up, actually. Trent. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I can still do 24 damage instead of 14. And then we'll just block. Yeah, we'll have to eat that. We'll have to eat that little bit of more damage there. So let's see. 21, huh? Well, we can't really do much else, so we just gotta do some damage to her. Okay, so I'm gonna use a black one here just to show that if you use shoot with the black mana, it comes as black, or purple in this case. But if you use a red, it comes out red. So yeah, a little nice detail for this game to have. It's a small little detail, but it makes a difference, I think. Makes you appreciate the small little things in a little game like this. So let's see. emergency defense is pretty good, actually. You just gain 21 defense whenever you can, because it has retain, so it stays in the hand until you use it. And it goes up to 28 when it upgraded, yeah. So I say this is a pretty good card to have. A little expensive, but not the worst thing ever. Alright, so if you upgrade this, you cost 0. So I have no problems with using it when it comes to the hand. Alright, so let's see. I personally don't have a preference into who I'm facing here. So I'm going to choose a random opponent. We'll gain 30 plus power. So we get her fired up and we're going to be fighting Cyrano for a while. So for Marisa, befitting of her, we're fighting Cyrano. Cyrano's going to be an interesting fight once we get there. Shouldn't be too bad, but it'll be interesting. Alright, let's go this way. Because whether I want Yukari or the shop, I can just go this way and be happy and just do either one. Let's see. Alright, so we met these Yin Yang orbs when we fought Shikiyeki, so we get to meet them firsthand. So, one is a red Yin Yang orb, which does attack, and it gains firepower every turn. And the blue one casts defense, and it gets 1 spirit per turn. So they're going to constantly get stronger and stronger and stronger until you deal with them. For that reason, I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of the red one first, because the red one is flat out telling you he's just going to get stronger until he beats you. So we kind of want to try and stop that. Let's see, 5, 10, we've got 19 damage here, which isn't bad. So I'm going to use emergency defense to get some defense up. And because they have barrier, this will still do damage, but I got to get rid of that barrier and I got to get rid of this guy like pretty quickly. So we have defense, so we'll be fine. But he's just, you see him getting firepower. He's just going to keep getting stronger and stronger until we deal with them. Thankfully, with 2 hot star impacts, that is simple, clean, and to the point. Now we shoot you for an extra 5, and move on from there. You gain some defense, so you got 11 defense, but you're going to do 9 damage, so that's fine. We're going to do that. Can't do much else, so this is fine. Alright, now for Lucky. Do 9 damage. I don't want to take any more damage, so I'm going to get some block. I'm going to use shoot. So we have 7 charge, so next turn, if we're lucky, we get to show this off pretty well. Oh, jeez. What's in the deck then? Just another shoot and a block? Well, we do draw 3 cards thanks to speed duels, so this will be worth it. So we're going to use shoot to do 5 damage. With 8 charge, we enter burst. We gain 3 rainbow mana, and we draw 3 cards because of that effect from before. So now we are in burst mode. Burst mode, she does twice the damage. So now, 10 damage turns to 20. And then it does 20 again. It's kind of fun when you get to use this move. Also, what am I trying to say here? What am I trying to say here? Also, while in burst, she can still get charge. So you can still use your mana. And rainbow mana also counts as a red mana. I forgot to say that as well. So it counts to getting a charge through the Hakuro here. Now this is an interesting option here. Wheel of Misfortune is an interesting card. If I actually took all the money and took that misfortune, this would actually not be a bad option, because it does more damage the more misfortune cards you have in your library. Instead, I'm going to get Mushroom Feast, because Mushroom Feast gives us concentration. Concentration means that when you use this, you gain concentration, and so Overdrive does not cost any charge. So if we have concentration, we can use the effect of dealing 12 damage 2 times and apply a vulnerability. So that is actually pretty useful. Yomu! How you doing? Let's see, what is the current cuisine she never tasted before? So I prefer 2. Could you do a taste test for me before I deliver them? Well, sure, I don't mind tasting either one of these here. So she has iced trice-colored dango, which is this piece here, or a sardinia mooncake. Sardinia mooncake. So if you choose the mooncake, we get the mooncake. I'll start each turn, upgrade a random card in hand until the end of combat. Prioritizes multicolored cards, which is not bad for an exhibit, but if we took it, we would get Creeping Hunger. Whenever a player plays a card, lose a life. Ugh, I don't know if I can live with that, so instead I'm going to use the Dango, transform the card into an upgraded multicolored card. Fluffy, gluttonous rice wrapped with sweet and sour cream fused with fruit pieces. What an innovative kind of combination. Boy, that's a mouthful. Alright, so we can change one of these into an upgraded multicolored card. I think I can get rid of a block here and do that. We gain skill. What is this? Necromancy. Gain 8 temporary firepower. Gain 8 life. At the start of Marisa's next turn, lose 8 life. Well, we are all about firepower, so that'll be pretty nice. Did I just... Oh, I think I tried to say nice, but I was trying to say neat, and I just came up as nice. I think that's what happened there. Oh lord, I get tongue-tied so damn easily. Okay, so one thing I can do here though, if I upgrade this, it becomes 2 concentration and it gains 7 life. But if I upgrade the Flammable Laser, instead of it having to cost 2 overdrive to charge, I just get it for free. I don't have to use charge. So I think that's more of a viable option, instead of having to rely on getting charge for each time I have to use that card. Alright, so we faced Aya before, nothing special about her, so we'll just do damage. We'll just do this, we'll do this, and then 10 more damage, or 15 damage because we inflicted vulnerable on her, and that is fine for a turn. Alright, so this is 20 damage. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. Well, I'm gonna do this. Do I want to do 8 more damage? I think I will. We'll just do 8 more damage, gain a block, we'll be fine. We're gonna hurt a little bit here, but this will be fine. We're gonna stop by Yukari's place and then get healed for all the damage we're gonna take here, so I think we'll be fine. Oh no, Aya's doing 18 ungrazed damage, so let's just use a block. And I guess we'll use Feast to gain more life. Sure, that works actually. We may not get to use concentration, but we gain life back, and that's pretty swell to me. Alright, let's see here. Let's use Shoot, Impact. I do draw 3 cards. But if I draw the newspaper, that's gonna be annoying. Alright, I got an idea. I'm gonna block instead. Let her run the newspaper, blah blah blah. And then instead, I'm going to use the newspaper, the red, Oh, it doesn't work that way. Okay, that's fine. We gotta use an actual attack card instead of a status. Because that is the thing as well. Hakuro will mention you need to play an attack. The Bum Bum Rune newspaper is a status card, not an attack card. So it doesn't work that way, sadly. Either way, flammable laser. Flammable laser, that is. That is fine by me. Ooh, radio is pretty good. Radio, when the ability cards added to the library, upgrade it. So now when we get ability cards, they come in upgraded. And look at that, we start with this. Each card in hand gains ethereal, gain firepower equal to the number of cards in hand. So it's mostly just gain attack. But every card in hand is ethereal. That doesn't change their cost. That doesn't change their patterns. Though I guess you gain firepower instead. And if you have a lot of status cards, that'd be one thing. I'm gonna go with directional laser instead. I'm not saying that's not a bad card. It's a rare card, I mean. You know what? Let's try it. I'm gonna probably regret it, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see what happens here. Oh, Raisin, why do you do this to me? Block toys. Normal combat rewards an additional card reward. Oh, that'd be nice. But I want to fight Seija, so I gotta go with the glasses. My glasses. I can't be seen without my glasses. Alright, we got 200 mon. We're gonna go to the shop next. Out of the way! And a good time to go too, because we got Reimu paying our health expenses. I say that's a pretty good deal. Alright, so the bats. The bats are pretty annoying in this game. They have vampire, so they do any damage that are unblocked, they will lifesteal from you. And they always start with a graze. Ugh, that's already annoying. Thankfully, they only do 10 damage flat out, so you can just block it and be fine. I'm gonna use this to gain some life back, and we're gonna do this to get rid of you. Yes, you. At least do damage to you. That's fine. So we block these so they don't vampire any more life from us, but the last bat causes lock-on. So now they all do an extra 2 damage. So they're about to do 16 if I don't block it somehow. So I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this to do more damage, and hopefully by the next turn I can get rid of it. The other bat has grace, so he's gonna dodge our attacks. That's fine. We are going to go ahead and... Hold on. Hold up, hold up. I'm gonna block. I'm gonna block. And I'm gonna attack you. Just to get rid of you. And be fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. It costs more lock on, but that's fine. We got 10 damage, so we'll be fine. Or we got 10 blocks, so we can block the damage at least, so that's fine. So let's do damage to you instead, actually. And I guess block. Sure, why not? I think this last bat is always going to cast lock on, unless he starts attacking. So we have to, like, stop him at some point. So we're just going to get rid of him. Now we do this, do more damage. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I jumped the gun. I jumped the gun! I jumped the gun! No! I jumped the gun! So that's something that can happen a lot in this game, and that's something you're gonna have to learn to not do. Is to jump the gun and just end the turn because you forgot about your effects. In this case, I forgot my speed dual card, so that's gonna happen if you don't take it slow and like voice it out in your head at least, or at least wait until the turn fully ends. It happens a lot. All right, so Fire Bar, discard all non-cards, which is not terrible, but I like Asteroid Belt a lot. If the last card was played this combat, gain 2 charge. So it's 2 free charge if you played a red card just before playing this card. So that's pretty cool. Okay, let's see what the shop has for us. The shop has not quite a lot, but it has some options. So, like the furnace is pretty fun. You just flat out gain 4 charge and 2 firepower. It's 3 mana, but I think it's worth it because I really like this card. The exhibits are also pretty good. Marisa gains 2 grades on the first turn. Marisa gains a firepower flat out, or all enemies with known names lose 30 life and gain a vulnerable. So more damage to them once we get there. That'll be pretty nice. I think upgrading Asteroid Belt would be pretty good here. The Codex is actually not a bad card here. It's 2 black mana to draw 2 cards, and then when you use it the first time, you gain an occult, which gives you a card that gives you 2 black mana. And when upgraded, it only costs 1. That's not a bad card, honestly. It's actually a pretty good one. But I'm torn between the Tengu's Fan and the Notebook. I think, for the long run, I'm gonna get the Tengu Fan to gain more grays. And the Codex is still pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the Codex too. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. I think I'm fine with all that. Alright, so, Odin. It's a good Tengu's Fan you got there. Thanks, I just bought it. Alright, so... Ooh, this is interesting, actually. If I use this then, I gain temporary firepower. We do 40 damage right away. So with vulnerable, we do more damage. So now we do 27. Then we do 20. And do I want to? I don't think I need to. I don't think I need to. I think I'm fine. I can handle losing 8 life because I'm about to see Yukari, and once I see Yukari, I'm about to get healed anyway. And besides that, Asteroid Belt, 7 damage 3 times. Kinda finishes ordering off anyway. And we don't have to deal with Vengeful Spirits this turn either. So I'd say that is pretty good. Ooh, Parasol of Gaps. That's a pretty good one. At the 3rd turn, gain 20 block and gain 3 rainbow mana. That's pretty solid, actually. Let's see. Too big to fail is kind of good, actually, especially when it's upgraded. Gain barrier instead of block and the number of cards in the draw pile. I'll go with too big to fail. Too big to fail is kind of not annoying to use, but it's kind of situational. It's a little rough. You gotta use it at the very start. But I mean, it's free block at the start, so, you know. Okay, Cirno. Cirno has a very interesting gimmick about her, which we don't see here. I guess it's not on only on Lunatic if she starts with someone. Alright. Well, I'm happy to start with Speed Duel, and because we have 2 grays, we're going to dodge 2 of her attacks, so I'm happy to finally start with the Immortal Flame. Gain 2 firepower, baby! Let's get some power in this business! Frozen Orb is going to hurt. Frozen Orb's going to hurt. So, Cirno has a couple of gimmicks here. The biggest one is that she has a status card that is super annoying in this game, but we're going to have to deal with it. Alright, so... Oh... I think that's fine. We're doing like a lot more damage here. That's fine. And we're getting 10 blocks, so we're fine. Yeah, this is fine. So Cirno inflicts our deck, or this a discard card, with Mana Freeze. Mana Freeze is an effect that affects us in multiple ways. We have multiple cards that do this to us, but Mana Freeze is if a Mana Freeze in the hand, all the cards in the hand cost mana more to play. After a card is played, exile Mana Freeze. So Mana Freeze is one of those statuses, not just Cirno's status, but it's a status that you can get from other ways. And it's not just Cirno's ability, but it makes cards in the hand cost 1 mana more. So now if we were to use Codex now, it would cost 3 mana, not just 2. So it's kind of rough that way. Let's exile you, because we have Occult and we have Light the Furnace. So Furnace is going to make us go to burst mode, and now we have Mana Freeze. So now we have to use something that uses mana. So let's see. If we do this, you have Vulnerable. So Mana Freeze goes away, so now everything costs the same again. I wonder how strong this will become. Let's use And Then There'll Be None. We gain more firepower, 13 firepower. We can do 36 damage here, 36, ooh, 54, wow. Wow, we left her with 1 HP. We're not even gonna see her other gimmick. Wow, that's pretty funny, alright. Oh, but she only has 1 HP. Why can't I just end it this turn? Oh, wait. Yeah, Marisa is kind of powerful. Marisa's kind of powerful and nuts in this case. Oh my gosh, that's kind of busted. Wow. The Parasol really helped because we gained 3 mana that turn. That was our 3rd turn, and we gained a lot of mana. And we got our burst, so we got 3 more mana. And Speed Duel helped us draw 3 cards to help us with that. So that was pretty fun. Okay, so we have 3 options here. Let's see here. Bottled Soul, add a dark to the mana place. Defeated enemies no longer drop power. For each power that would have dropped, gain 3 money instead. So to turn this into a money run, which is not terrible, but I would lose out on my spell card, and I really cannot say I want to lose my spell card. I don't want to. So we don't want to do that. Then we have some Stone of Asia, which I think we saw this before. Start out combat's turn, gain 2 firepower, add reflected sunlight. So it's just an option. But then we have Cirno's card. This is a green mana, and it adds cards unique to Cirno. When a teammate is summoned by being played, add 1 Midsummer Flower to the hand. If we add Cirno's card, she would gain a lot here. You know what? Let's take a sneak peek of what Cirno's ability is all about, and let's go with the Fairy's Green Branch. I'm curious on what kind of run this can become if I use the green mana. I'm curious. Ooh, and it pays off pretty well, actually. So, these are some interesting cards. Event Horizon, though, is gutsy. So, Event Horizon, enter Burst, gain 5 temporary firepower. At the start of Marisa's next turn, she loses the game. So if you use it, you have to rely on beating the opponent in that turn. Otherwise, you lose. You just die. I personally cannot justify getting this card. If you want to try and have a go all out mode moment, by all means, but I personally cannot justify getting this card. Then is to get the nature. Choose a card from the next card pile and return it to the hand. It gains Echo. Echo is pretty fun. This card is also Echo, so it makes the card Echo. So Echo is interesting. It makes a copy of a card that you just played. So when it's upgraded, this becomes an Echo. So that means if you use Gift of Nature, get a card back in the hand, it has Echo. Then using this means it's echoed, so you get to use it again. Then you get to get another card with this card pile and use it again. This card is kind of nuts if you get the mana for it and if you get the right cards for it. It's kind of nuts. I really like it. But then it's also Moonlit Lotus. You just flat out gain 2 green mana and 2 rainbow mana at no cost. But when it's upgraded, you gain 3 of each. Oh, that's a tough option there. That is a tough choice. I think I want to get Moonlit Lotus for the sake of getting some mana in. Because mana is going to be very important for this run. I can promise you that one. Now in the meantime, here. Concentrate, Mushroom Feast isn't bad, but there's really not enough here for me to justify, because I'm not going to have anything that needs to use Overdrive. At least when I'm done with this, I don't think I will, so I think I'm going to get rid of Mushroom Feast. I don't mind getting to 5 life and the Concentrate, but I just don't think I'm ever going to need it. I just don't think I'll need it. But that is it for Marisa's first act. Next time around, whenever she stops tossing her damn potions around, we'll start the next act. So, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens in Marisa's long night adventure. I guess then we'll see you next time. So with that said, this is Kibatu. And until we journey through the night once more, goodbye to you. Laters.